Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Lisa and I produce beauty related content here on YouTube. Beauty chit chat reviews, tutorials, all that good stuff. I also have a blog, madeupmom.com, which I will link down below. I hope you'll check that out. A platform for me to share other things I'm passionate about: health, fitness, motherhood, family, all that good stuff. Today though, we have my mom in the house.
Hi.
This is my mom, Debbie. She was gracious enough to come on my channel. I know a lot of my subscribers are in their 50s, and I've done a couple of videos on mature skin, foundations for mature skin, and eye makeup tips for mature skin, which I'll link both of those down below. And those were kind of my most popular videos on my channel. So I asked you guys if you wanted to see me do my mom's makeup, and I was really overwhelmed by the response. So she came on and I did my mom's makeup. So this is my mom. She's 55. I think she has great skin. I think that it's kind of, I think it's kind of cheating a little bit because, you know, she is in her 50s, but I think she's been blessed with good genes. And so anyway, I hope you learned some tips and tricks from this video. I will link that video for mature eye makeup down below, and foundation. Huh? What?
I'm just...
Are you crying?
I don't know.
My mom's very sensitive and emotional. That's where I get it. That's where I get it from. Okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and stop so she doesn't cry anymore. Okay, keep up. Oh. Okay. All right. And let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I have already prepped my mom's skin by applying moisturizer and eye cream. I will link those two products down below. For foundation, I'm using the Face Atelier Ultra Foundation. If you have been around my channel for a while, you've probably heard me talk about this foundation. It is my absolute all-time favorite foundation. It is so beautiful. I stocked this in my kit for years. I use this at weddings because it looks good on 20-year-olds and on 80-year-old grandmothers of the brides. It's so beautiful. It has a really natural kind of satin-like finish. The coverage is medium. You can kind of get full coverage out of it. Well, I shouldn't say full coverage, but it's like a medium full-ish coverage. I'm using the IT Cosmetics brush, and I'm just kind of pressing it in the center of her face to just keep that coverage there. And then as I get to the perimeter of her face, I'm softly blending it out. But I do spend quite a bit of time on her foundation just to make sure the skin is absolutely perfect. For concealer, I'm using this concealer by Clé de Peau concealer, and I'm using the shade Beige. This is a beautiful concealer, but especially I think for mature skin because it's not really dry, but it's not, it does set to a nice finish. So for under the eye area, I want something that is going to be hydrating because I don't want to make that area more dry, but I also don't want something that's going to be real creamy and move around a lot. I wish I had used a beauty blender to apply this. Instead, I used this concealer brush, and I did notice a little bit of creasing throughout the video, so I had to kind of set it with powder. Had I used a beauty blender, I think I would have had less creasing because it would have absorbed the excess product. But this is a great concealer. It is on the high end, you guys. It's about $70, so you know, I just kind of have to give that little disclaimer. I am setting under the eyes with Mercier Secret Brightening Powder in a really sheer thin layer. I don't want to apply more powder than is necessary, and then I'm just going to go right in the center of her face. For her brows, I'm combing through them. My mom has really nice brows already. I just need to give them a little bit more volume. She kind of has thin, you know, the hair that she does have is thinning. So I'm using the Medium Brown Brow Duo by Anastasia Beverly Hills. And you can see that I'm just have a really soft, nice, light sketch with my hand. I'm not drawing them in. I'm not putting a lot of pressure. I'm really just creating natural hair-like texture in her brows. And then I'm combing through to soften them. I am going to soften them a little bit more with this Tinted Brow Gel by Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is just going to soften them a little bit more and also keep the hairs in place. I do also want to prep her lips for lipstick. I want her lips nice and hydrated. I'm using the Kari Gran Lip Whip, especially on more textured lips. You want to hydrate the lips a few minutes before you apply lipstick so they look really like plump and supple. For bronzer, I'm using the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and I have a really lightweight brush to apply it. So this is going to apply a really sheer layer. This is a brush by MAC that I absolutely love for bronzer. I use this on myself. And I'm keeping her bronzer pretty light. I am kind of creating like a C-like shape from underneath her cheekbone and up into her hairline and forehead. This is just going to give her a little more color. I'm not doing a heavy contour. For my mom's makeup, I really want all the lines soft and diffused. I don't want a harsh contour. You'll see on the eye makeup, it's not going to be a harsh eye makeup. It's really about soft, blurred lines. For her eye primer, I'm giving this new primer a try because you guys recommended this. This is the Milani eye primer that I've heard so much about, and it fit the mold of what I needed, which was a very sheer primer that's clear. I'm applying a really thin layer on her eyelid. I don't want a thick, heavy primer like the MAC Paint Pot. I want something that's going to be a lot thinner and more sheer. So I'm using a couple of eye palettes for this, you guys. I'm so sorry. I kind of was all over the place with her eye makeup, but I forgot to mention these palettes in that eye makeup for mature eye video. This is by Kat Von D, and her shadows are phenomenal. They're great quality matte shades. So I'm using this quad palette in Rust, and I'm using the lightest shade as her brow highlight, and then I'm also going to take a little bit of that and just pop it in the inner corner of her eye just to kind of brighten that area up a bit. Then I'm just taking that concealer brush because this is where I noticed a little bit of creasing. I'm just going back over it with a little powder. For her crease, I'm going to start with a really sheer layer of this L'Oreal matte eyeshadow. It's in the shade 304, Matted Up. And it's just about a shade or two darker than my mom's skin tone. And this is just going to create a really nice soft contour. Again, for mature eye makeup, it's all about sheer layers. So instead of going in with a dramatically darker shade, I want to start with a lighter shade so that I can softly build this soft, diffused kind of crease, if you will. So I'm taking my time to really blend that out and make all the lines really soft. Then I'm using this Natasha Denona palette. It is the palette 02, and I'm grabbing that mid shade, which is just a little bit darker than the first shade by L'Oreal that I put down, and I'm just going directly on top of that. You could have skipped the L'Oreal step altogether and done this. Just adding that extra step is just going to make everything look softer, which is kind of the goal here. So I'm creating a really nice rounded crease. My mom has great eyelids to start with. She has a lot of lid space, so she doesn't really have a hooded eye. She has a lot of real estate to work with. So I was able to take that crease, kind of follow her natural crease. Then I'm going to brighten the inner half of her eyelid up with this shade by L'Oreal. This is in the shade 302, Mix and Matte. It's a really pretty, not too stark white, kind of a cream color, a matte with a little bit of a sheen to it, and I'm just popping this in the inner corner of her eye and about halfway through her eyelid, and I'm using the side of a MAC 213 brush to really pack it on. Then I'm going to go back into that Natasha Denona palette, and I'm picking up this really pretty purpley taupey bronze shade, and I'm going to pack that on the outer corner. And you should know that this is a shimmery shade, you guys. So I talked about this in my video, but I don't think that shimmer shadows are off for mature eyelids. I think it's all about finding a quality shimmer that has a lot of pigment so that you don't have to layer a lot of product on the eye, and also finding something that's creamy and rich in color and not chunky and glittery. And the Natasha Denona palettes are just such great quality shadow. They're perfect for all eye shapes and all eye types and skin types, but especially shimmer for mature eyes. And I'm just taking a brush and I'm softening all the edges because I don't want any harsh edges. So here I'm taking a blending brush and I haven't added any product to it. I'm just using essentially a clean brush just to soften everything out. And you'll see me do this a couple of times. Again, it's all about really sheer, soft, blurred lines. Then I'm going in back into that Kat Von D palette and I'm taking this warm matte brown shade and I just want to deepen up the outer corner a little bit. You guys, I'm sorry I'm all over the place with different palettes. I mean, remember, you don't have to buy these products to create this look. Just look at the shades I'm using and find something that you do have. And so I'm just deepening up the outer corner a little bit with this. And I'm going to tight line her eyes with the Pixi Liner in Deep Plum. This is a really nice, soft, deep shade that's really soft and creamy, so it's going to go on the eye with very little effort, so it's going to be comfortable. I am just taking the very corner of her lash line and lining it. I'm going to show you a couple of ways to line mature eyes. This is the first option. So I'm taking like a creamy eye pencil that does set, and I'm just, I mean, I didn't even go halfway through her lash line. You can tell it really was just the outer corner. Then I'm going to go on top of it with the 206 brush by Sigma with a dark matte eyeshadow just to kind of set it in more place so it doesn't transfer, and pull it up a little bit, flick it up. So I'm really not following the lash line here. I'm pulling the end of that liner up a little bit, which is going to elongate and lift the eye. But you can see I didn't even pull this liner even to the center of her lash line. I mean, it's really just on the outer corner. The other option I'm showing you is with an like a liquid eye pen. This is by Physicians Formula, and I'm essentially doing the same technique, but I'm using this type of liner instead of using a pencil. So again, just the outer corner, it's a little thicker, and then when you get to the very outer corner, I just flick it up. So it just lifts the eye rather than following the natural lash line. It's just going to give a more turned up eye versus turned down. Then I'm having my mom curl her lashes, and I'm using the Dior Lash Primer. This is just a must for everyone, but especially when you have lashes that may be thinning or a loss of lashes. And then I'm going to layer my Chanel Le Volume mascara directly on top of that. This is such a great volumizing mascara. And once I've completed mascara and liner, I feel like I can really kind of evaluate the eyeshadow. And after doing that, I decided I wanted to deepen the outer corner up a tad bit more. So I went and added the darkest purple from the Natasha Denona palette right in the outer corner. And I'll show you that shadow here in just a second. It was kind of an afterthought. That's that one right there. And then again for the lower lash line, I'm taking, this is actually a brown shade by Urban Decay. This is the 24/7 pencils. And again, I just lined the outer corner. I mean, I didn't even take it even to the center of her lash line. And then I'm going on top of it with that deep plum shade just to soften it and smoke it out a little bit. I'm using my brush here just to show you how far I took that liner, and you can see it's just about halfway. This is going to keep her eyes really open rather than dragging it all the way to the inner corner and looking really heavy. For blush, I started out with Well Dressed by MAC, but you'll see later I just kind of went another direction because the Well Dressed didn't add enough color to my mom. She loves blush color, as do I, and so I went back and added another shade. Okay, this product right here, you guys, I'm so upset. I filmed my favorite, my current monthly favorite video, and I left this to the side with the products I used on her, and I totally forgot to talk about in my monthly favorites video. This is a favorite lip product of mine right now. It's called Pinkaboo, and it is a glossy stick by Soap and Glory. I love, love, love that product. It's so beautiful. But I chose it for my mom because I wanted her lips to look full and hydrated, but not real thick and glossy, and it was just the perfect selection. For her liner, I'm using the Huda Beauty Bombshell lip liner. This is just a really pretty kind of peachy nude shade, and I'm just kind of tracing her lip line and then sketching in a little bit to add a little bit more fullness and shape to her lips. And then I'm going back with a blending brush just to soften everything one more time. Once I added that purple, I just wanted to make sure that, again, there were no harsh lines. Everything's really soft. Everything's really sheer and beautiful. And there you have it, you guys. I did decide to add lashes, which we're going to do right now because my mom was going to go see Wonder Woman with her friend. So I wanted to add some fun lashes. These are the Ardell lashes. The Demi Wispies is the shade. The style. These are my favorite lashes. Lashes just make such a difference. I know they're not practical for every day, but I thought they would be fun for my mom. She really enjoyed getting her makeup done. She doesn't wear a lot of makeup most of the time, so I think these were fun for her. And then the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in and add that blush that I mentioned. So I grabbed the blush Warm Soul by MAC, which is a real warm peachy bronze that has a little bit of shimmer to it. And I'm just going to pop that on the cheeks for a little more color. And again, just set that under eye concealer with a little teeny bit of powder. I don't want to do too much, but I do want to make sure it's all set and not going to move. And that's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed me doing my mom's makeup. Thanks so much for watching.